What's up, my freedom-loving friend? This clip you're about to see satisfied me so much. I've always wanted to see something like this. And this is taken from my weekly show, aired only on Rumble, Lies You Can Trust. Happens every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. I would love to invite you to go over to Rumble, subscribe, join me for the live show. But in the meantime, enjoy this very satisfying clip. Something like this, what I'm about to show you, it gives me a little bit of hope. There is a congressman named Thomas Massie. Maybe you know of him, maybe you don't. So Thomas Massie, congressman from Kentucky, he has a rant he was doing during this bill debate kind of thing. They're just stuff they do. He calls out the political theater while he's in the political theater. It is just brilliant. I retweeted it. It is worth a watch. It's something that it's one of those things we've always wanted a politician with intelligence and balls to say this while they're in the den of the lions. No offense, lions. I know analogizing you to politicians is not fair to you, but nonetheless, here it is. Take a look-ski.
And I would call on Mr. Massie.
Can we be honest with the American people about what's going on here? This is political theater. I'm going to call out both sides right here. It's all posturing. It's fake fighting. We all know where it ends up. This is Groundhog Day.
They're in the middle of the fake fighting of the political theater, and he's just acknowledging what they're doing.
I don't care if the Democrat is the speaker or Republican is the speaker. We always get a CR in September, and then we get an omnibus. Sometimes there's a twist on that. We might get the omnibus before Christmas, but if we're not good, it comes after Christmas. But that's what's going to happen. And in the meantime, it's political theater. You know, we've got it's good theater. We've got great writers. I wish they'd just come up with a new plot.
Yeah. I don't think they're great writers, because great writers would have a new plot. But doing the same thing over and over again, it's consistent writing. I don't think it's great writing. I'll disagree with them there.
It's the same plot every fiscal year. What should we be doing? It's already been discussed. We should have done 12 separate bills. But again, whether Democrats are in control or Republicans are in control, we never do the 12 separate bills. Why do we always spend at least as much as we did last year, and why do we never cut spending? It's because Democrats want to grow the welfare state and Republicans want to grow the military-industrial complex. And we're eventually going to get together, and they're both going to go up. I guarantee it. And both parties are just fine letting the bureaucrats do their thing, which should be our thing, according to Article 1, Section 8 in the Constitution. We are empowered with these things. Most important of the things we do is the funding, and that's the big lever we have. You know, I've sat through now almost 2 years of hearings in this Congress where we've exposed lies at the CDC, shortcuts at the FDA, unconstitutional gun bans at the ATF, over prosecution of January 6ers.
Can we get this censored? He's saying too much.
The DOJ, targeting common citizens at the FBI, spying by the NSA, illegal mandates for livestock by the USDA, targeting plant vaccine or transgenic plant vaccine at the NSF, and censorship.
Woo! Covered a lot there. I like it.
The censorship industrial complex of which the NSF is part of. Automobile kill switch at the DOT. Now, these are all things I think most Democrats are just fine with, this kind of totalitarian state that they're...
Amen to that. Most Democrats, from my point of view as well, are just fine with that kind of totalitarian state.
Bureaucrats are pushing on us. But Republicans at least pretend to be against these things. But what are we going to do this September? We're going to fund every freaking one of those things that we have exposed.
By the way, I love how he calls out his own party. Republicans at least pretend to be against those things. But then when it comes to passing this thing, they always compromise.
That is the tool that we have, is the funding. Why are we funding things we don't like? We don't have to. Well, it's because we're addicted to spending. And this doesn't do anything about the addiction at all. Why? Let me touch on one point too here that I think is important. Is, you know, a couple years ago, or a summer and a half ago, I suppose now, we did something where we allowed the debt limit to be increased. But as a condition of that, We said, if you do a CR that lasts past April 30th, everything's going to get cut 1%. And that, to me, seemed like at least a little tinge of fiscal responsibility was creeping in. But now I notice that this CR, instead of going 1 year and giving us time to do the 12 appropriations bills, is going to go 6 months. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen because this goes 6 months. Number one, it ends in March 28th. Well, the automatic cuts happen on April 30th if the CR went past that. So that is exactly why the Speaker chose a 6-month CR, is so we don't have even the chance, a threat to this town, it's a threat of a 1% cut. We don't want to even, this is like T-ball. The 1% cut is on the tee and Republicans won't even swing at it. So instead, we're going to do a 6-month CR instead of a 1-year CR. That sets up another crisis next spring where we can do another pretend fight sometime around March.
Or we can do another pretend fight.
And that fight it'll be the same fight regardless of who wins the presidency and who's in charge of the Senate and the House. And we're basically going to get pretty much the same result. But that's 6 months from now. In the meantime, we can kick the can down the road. All of these things that we've exposed and all of these hearings are going to continue to get funded. But wait, there's a bright, shiny object on this CR. I've never seen one of these. I have never seen a bright, shiny object attached to one of these must-pass bills. Oh, wait, no. It actually happens. There always is a bright, shiny object, a bauble, if you will. A little something to get excited about. This SAVE Act. It's going to save us all. Right? And by the way, this is good political theater. I do like this part of it, that we're going to see almost every Democrat cast a vote so that illegals can vote in our elections. I mean, that's pretty clever on the part of our speaker to set that up, make you all take that vote. But here's what he's going to do after you take that vote. He's going to take it off. The bright, shiny object goes away. It's Lucy and the football again. And the American public is all revved up. Yeah, we're going to get to save it. We're going to save these elections. We're going to stop the illegals from voting. Really? How are you going to do that in like 6 weeks? I think they're already registered if they're going to vote. Some of them probably already voted. This SAVE Act ain't going to save anything, particularly because it ain't ever going to become law. It's a false promise to get all the Republicans half pregnant. And then you're going to get fully pregnant by the end of September when you vote for this CR. It's not going to have this, I mean, I hate to break this to you. I mean, the Democrats already know this. I'm not telling you anything special. I hate to break it to the Republicans. You ain't getting the SAVE Act. It is not going to stay on this bill. Why? Because we're going to cave. We're going to cave. Is it a fight worth having? Absolutely, it's a fight worth having. Make those Democrats say they want illegals to vote. Make them take that vote as many times as you can. And then make them go to the ballot box in November. But that's what it is political theater, folks. We all know where it ends up. We've seen it. I've been here 12 years. I've seen it 12 times. I refuse to be a thespian in this failure theater. And with that, I yield back.
Thank you, Representative Massie. Now back to the political theater. Who's next? Say words that aren't going to mean anything. We got to look like we're doing something here. We were voted in. We got to get voted in again. Well, this week's award for saying the quiet part out loud that needs to be said goes to Representative Thomas Massie from Kentucky. Congratulations. I absolutely love that. Now, real quick, a word from an important sponsor, Rumble. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have any biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. Back then, no one thought platforms would ever censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID. But they did. And recently, Facebook admitted that they fell to the pressure of the Biden and Harris administration, but Rumble did not. They held the line. And because of it, Rumble is attacked daily for giving creators like me a voice to talk to you. Rumble is attacked in corporate media, and they're attacked by governments like France. And they're attacked by brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. There's no doubt corporate America is fighting to remove free speech, but Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask of you. But if you really believe in this fight like I do, and you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in the human right of free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with promo code JP when you purchase an annual subscription. To support free speech, go to rumble.com/premium and use code JP. Like I said, if you have the means and you believe in this cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. And if you don't have the means, me and all the other creators and Rumble itself are just happy that you watch me on Rumble. Thank you.